This is Dominique Wilkins.
Hey, this is Sean Kemp.
This is Gary Payton.
Hey, this is Pau Gasol.
NBA fans, what's up? This is Vince Carter here.
Hey, what's up? This is Matt Barnes. If you're an old school NBA fan like I am, make sure you check out the Basketball Time Machine with my man Sean David.
Hello and good day to you all. Welcome back to the Basketball Time Machine. I'm your host, Sean David. Thanks for tuning in. Now, you know what time it is. It is old school NBA time. So today's episode, I want to take a look at more NBA legends giving their opinion on how good Dennis Rodman, a.k.a. The Worm, really was. So sit back, buckle up, and let's get right into today's episode. Now, the first player that I want to take a look at is Isaiah Thomas. As we all know, Isaiah played with Dennis, and he has a very interesting comparison to Dennis Rodman of the Detroit Bad Boy Pistons and the Chicago Bulls. So let's have a look.
Knowing Dennis like I know him, and like we knew him, the Dennis Rodman that I knew in Detroit never drank, never smoked, never, gambled or did any of those things. And like I said, we were a tight unit with rules and regulations. And what I watch, and we're all getting a chance to peek behind the curtain. And the Dennis Rodman that I see is, it's a person that's winning championships and doing all these marvelous things on the court. But off the court, I see a Dennis Rodman that is asking for help and needs help.
Let's take a look at Dennis. Everything he does is with two hands. He gets it, one hand, two hands. That's what all young kids should watch. Watch how he positions himself, tips it, grabs it with two hands. Every time you see him rebound, it's with two hands, turns, outlets. Fundamentally sound into the game. 36 years old, leading the league in rebounding. The only two people to ever do that is Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain.
Now, next on my list, I have David Robinson, the Admiral, and it's very interesting to see what he has to say since rumors say that he was having a hard time with Dennis as his teammate. Let's have a look.
93-94, and he's now your teammate.
Yeah.
And this is a unique cat.
Yeah.
I mean, he is.
That's an understatement right there, yeah.
How did oil and water mix?
Yeah. You know what? And I love Dennis. I really do. He's an unbelievable player, incredibly athletic. He was like Superman. Like he just, just a freak of nature. A guy could run all day long, never got tired, and was like the Energizer Bunny. I loved having him next to me on the court because you always felt like, you just got a warrior with you. So on the court, he's a great guy to have next to you. In the locker room, it's a little different story.
Is the emergence of a former bad boy in Dennis Rodman when he came to the Bulls and helped them win those last three championships. What do you remember from the first time with Rodman joining the Bulls?
Well, when he first came, he was quiet. I mean, he didn't really know anyone, and obviously there'd been a little bit of history when he was with Detroit and the Bulls, which I wasn't part of because I wasn't part of those Bulls teams. And he's very quiet himself when you go out. We used to ride motorcycles together and go out and grab a bite to eat. And he really doesn't talk a whole lot. He's not really engaging with the fans when he's not out at night and the cameras are so-called on and the spotlight's on. But he's a great teammate, a lot of fun to be around, and works real hard on the floor. And it does like to have a lot of fun at night, too.
Absolutely believe that Dennis Rodman changed the Bulls. In a system where you have great leadership, great coach, people who are very demanding of your practice habits, of your nightlife. You have to give way to what Dennis Rodman brought to the court. Dennis was always going to be Dennis. And as long as he gave you 110% on the court, you can live with some of his off-the-court antics. And I just thought, you had to soften up for a guy who was different, a guy who wanted to be accepted, a guy who already won a championship, a guy who knew what it took. And so at that point, Dennis was established. He was great. He was an all-star.
Now, the next clip that we're going to take a look at is from Gary Payton. And basically, nobody has it as short, as brief, and precise as the glove. Let's have a look.
Dennis Rodman was the fuck up person. He just fucks everything up. He's a pest. Shutting down whoever he wanted to, it was always a challenge. He was one of them players that had changed the game just by his presence.
It all began to unravel for Seattle in the second quarter with Payton and Rodman.
And that's the scoreboard that is doing that to Gary Payton. That is not Dennis Rodman. That's 82-65. And the fact that that is Dennis Rodman is what's bothering Gary Payton right now.
Rodman, 7 technicals for the season, no suspensions.
And you can take a look here. And I'm sure Dennis did something because he always does. But he did a right knee. Yeah, he need him in the butt a little bit, but that's nothing to get that upset.
Rodman had 34 rebounds.
While a member of the Bulls or a member of the Pistons?
It was March of 92. I'm going to guess.
Was he with Spurs?
He was with the Spurs, and he had 34 rebounds when he was with Spurs.
Oh, my God. Come on, Dale and Antonio Davis. Keep him off the glass.
Yeah.
Come on, Rick Smith.
But he didn't guard you, did he?
No. Well, yes, on switches.
Oh, okay. But he didn't. He would never. You were the best.
No, he would never. No, he's not that dumb. He's dumb. He was good, but he wasn't that dumb. He's not going to start off. Now, he might switch on a switch or coming off a screen, he might show out. But he's not, not off tip ball. No, he's not that dumb.
And he knows better. He had 6.
He knows better.
How many did Reggie have in that game?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and did we win or lose? If he got 34 rebounds, they better have won.
Rodman had 34 rebounds and 10 points. Reggie, oh, no.
Oh, no. That bad?
No. Did Reg get double figures?
Reg was 3 for 6 from the field, 0 for 1 from 3, and only 6 points in 36 minutes.
What the heck?
In 92? In 1992?
Rodman shut you down.
Oh, no.
He did. Maybe he did guard me that night.
It's the same way with a player. He has some aberrant behavior that's going on. And if you sit back and you just allow, it's happening. Okay, now he's through. Now he's centered again. Now we're okay. Now we're back on beam.
Yeah.
And it was
That's
kind of
a
like
player
that.
or your kid, whether it's your child or your player. Yes.
Your kid too.
Yes.
So it was like that with Dennis, and I had watched him before. He's with the Detroit Pistons, and Chuck Daly, who I admired as a coach, was an animated coach. And as he got animated, Dennis would become more animated on the floor. It's like his energy source was right there, feeding into Dennis's energy source. So I thought, this guy he sometimes can go over the edge. I better just sit back and become quiet, and use that meditation practice while I'm sitting on the bench.
And to have the stamina that he had, it's pretty remarkable. He killed that you need a good night's sleep theory.
You have a little experience with that in there somewhere, don't you?
But I did try to get a good night's sleep every now and then.
And Dennis went through these different phases as a player. I remember back in the Detroit days, pre-tats and all that stuff. And you knew him a little bit then?
I did. In college, I used to always go up to the Pistons and work out with them and watch him. This was before he turned into Dennis Rodman with the tats. But the thing that amazed me as a young player was watching a guy go through his practices, or sometimes after the game, and I go in the locker room with John, Sally, and Joe and Isaiah and talk, and he'd be on a treadmill or he'd be on a Stairmaster, and they say he would do an hour after a game. So for me to see a guy that just played a game and his ability to go get on the Stairmaster for another hour, and then also playing against him. I never had a guy that I didn't think I could go around at 6'8", standing straight up, and laterally he could still slide his feet and draw a charge. To me, that was unbelievable.
He wasn't the most skilled guy, but when you talk about the greatest athletes to ever play in the NBA, I think Dennis Rodman is in that category. When you think about the stamina, what you talked about, Charles, just the way he lived his life and to be able to play with that kind of energy night after night, the way he could run, especially early when he was with the Pistons and he would chase people down and guard every position. That guy could have been a world-class triple jumper or 400-meter sprinter. I mean, he was incredible.
So how good was Dennis Rodman in my opinion? Well, I had the pleasure and the honor to have Dennis on my show not too long ago, and it was just amazing to talk to this guy because you can really see and hear that this guy really thought the game through from the beginning to the end. Not only one of the best defenders of all time, but simply one of the best personalities that we ever had in the NBA. So Dennis Rodman, you rock. All right, you guys, that was it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the content. Don't forget to leave a like and also subscribe to the channel if you're new to the show. So you all stay healthy, take care, and see you next time on the Basketball Time Machine.